What's up, you guys? Welcome back. Today I am so excited because we are going to be doing a first look, first impressions, and tutorial on the brand new Tartelette palette. I am so excited. This is the Tartelette Toasted. So this is the newest Tartelette palette. When I saw this a couple weeks ago, I think I first saw it on Trend Mood's Instagram and I was like, oh my goodness, so excited. I have both the original Tartelette and the Tartelette in Bloom palette, and I love both of those palettes. I think they're fabulous. So I was so excited that they were adding another one into the collection, and this packaging is so cute. I remember when I was scrolling through my Instagram feed, it was actually this like packaging right here, this orange and black, that like caught my eye, and I was like, oh, what's that? And then I was like, oh my god, another Tartelette palette. So today we are going to be diving into this palette, doing a comparison with this palette and the other Tartelette palettes that they already have out, as well as doing a tutorial and giving you my first impressions on it. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you guys like first impression tutorials like this. Subscribe to my channel before you guys leave today. It'll be the first link right down below in the description box. And yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so once you take it out of the actual cardboard packaging, the front of the palette is exactly the same, which I was so happy about, because sometimes like the outward packaging has something really cool, but then the palette inside doesn't have the same thing. But this one did. You guys already know my thoughts on it. The packaging is honestly exactly the same as any of the other Tartelette palettes that they have out. It's just a different print on the front. When we go ahead and open it up, we have a big mirror as well as all of the shades. So there are 12 different shades in this palette, in both a mix of mattes and shimmers. If you guys remember the original Tartelette palette, which I will grab right now, this is the original Tartelette. So as you guys can see, it is all matte, and they are mostly cool toned. So this is the new Tartelette palette, which you guys can see is significantly different and not all mattes. And then this one was the second Tartelette. This was the Tartelette in Bloom. So that's when they started to do both a mix of mattes and shimmers. But again, the shades are still significantly different than the new Tartelette palette, which is right here. I'll put them next to each other up close so you guys can see. So the Tartelette Toasted is definitely the most warm toned of the three, which is my favorite kinds of tones. I know there are so many warm tone palettes that are out right now, but honestly, that's just what's really popular. So I think a lot of brands are just coming out with warm tone palettes, which is not a problem for me, like I said, because I personally just love warm tones on my eyes. So we're gonna go in with this and see how it performs. I am gonna swatch a few of the shades before we go on the eyes. Oh my lord, okay. That was this one right here in Flame. I'll do a matte as well. Okay, so they look like they're swatching really nicely. They seem really buttery and very pigmented, so let's see how they do on the eyes. I'm first gonna go in with Cashmere, and I'm gonna pop this in the crease as a neutral transition shade. There are a lot of really pretty like matte neutral shades in this palette. So there should be actually a neutral transition shade for every skin tone, because there is a lighter one, this is like a more medium tone one, and there is a darker one down here, which is great. Because I know sometimes in palettes when neutral transition shades work for me, that doesn't necessarily mean that it'll work for everybody. So I like that they did put quite a few in this palette. And I do always just like using matte neutral colors to build up my crease anyways. Then I'm going to go in with Warmth to continue warming up the crease. These shadows are blending out super easily. Mattes are normally the harder of the two to blend when it comes to shadows, but these mattes are not dry or patchy, so they really are blending out well. Like, I'm not really doing any work. I'm just doing windshield wiper motions, and we're getting a beautiful color and payoff and blend. One thing I have noticed is actually when I'm dipping my brush into the colors, like we're getting a decent amount of like powder, I guess, that's coming when I do that, but it's not like transferring as fallout underneath my eye. So I mean, honestly, I don't really care. I'm just kind of blowing it off after, but that is just something that I did notice. But we're not getting fallout underneath the eye like at all, so I'd rather do it in the pan than on my eye. Now to really deepen up the crease, we're gonna go in with Cozy, and we are gonna focus that guy right in there. All these mattes are layering on top of each other completely fine, which is really nice. I want to do a lighter color on the lid today, so I'm going to go in with Candle. Oh my god, this is so pretty. Holy crap, this shimmer is stunning. I love it. Yes, Lord. And just so you guys know, this palette is going to drop on the 15th of October. I don't think I said that yet, so October 15th. And I don't believe there has been absolute pricing that has been like announced yet. The other Tartelette palettes are $46, so I would assume that it would be around the same price. I did get a little bit of fallout with that color underneath my eye, so I'm just wiping it away. But it is like so glittery and beautiful. I am obsessed. I'm then gonna pop on with Sunrise, and I'm just gonna use this to highlight the brow bone area. I like that they did like a shimmer highlight color as well as a matte, because S'mores, which is right here, is like a matte highlight, so you kind of get that option as well, whether or not you want to do shimmer or matte. And then I'm gonna go back in with Cozy and just run that on my lower lash line, just to really smoke out this look. Alright, so that is the eye look. I'm gonna go pop on liner and lashes and we'll be back for final thoughts. Alright you guys, so this is the completed look and honestly this is probably one of my favorite looks that I've created in quite a while. I love how it ended up turning out. I just think the tones in this palette, it's like impossible to make a not pretty eye look because they're just so pretty. I know that there are so many warm tone eyeshadow palettes on the market right now and so many that are really, really good, and I would absolutely say that this is one of them, and it's honestly probably my favorite that I have tried thus far. I really like it. I just think the shadows blended out beautifully. They were so pigmented, and I also really just like the color selection and like how they picked the colors because I feel like it allows for so much versatility. You could create so many different eye looks. You could definitely create a very neutral eye look with this palette, but you could also create a super smoky, super deep and dark look as well, or something kind of in between like what I did. So I really like the versatility that it gives you, and I do think this palette would suit a lot of different skin tones as well, which I think is great. Honestly, the only thing that I could say is that a few of the colors did have a decent amount of like powder kickback when I stuck my brush into them, but like I said, once applied to the eye, it like didn't fall out underneath my eyes, so I don't necessarily even know that I would call it a negative. It is just something that I did notice, so keep that in mind. Overall, I think this palette is great and it definitely is my favorite Tartelette palette. I do love the first two, but this one absolutely positively takes the cake. Like these tones are just so stunning. So like I said, October 15th is when this puppy is going to be available. I believe that it'll be around $46 based on the Tartelette palettes in the past. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Let me know down below what you guys think of the palette. Do you think you're going to be getting it, or do you think you're going to skip on it? I would love to hear. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you have not already. It'll be the first link right down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye!